Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it's your favorite dark sorcerer here, Angelus, son of Abaddon. And today I'd like to discuss the Oath of Service. Basically, the Witch's Creed, the Witch's Pyramid. Okay. And in the past, I have discussed witchcraft in general from numerous different sources. And really broke it down into the arts and practices, the tools, the rituals, stuff like that. But I never really got into the terms of service, the oath and the creeds and the rules, the regulations, stuff like that. So today I thought I'd get into this and kind of just break it down for the neophyte, the beginner. Okay. Now, the one thing that you have to realize after entering into the journey of any tradition, such as Wicca, Wiccan, pagan, neo pagan, satanic, even, okay, and or voodoo, voodoo, whatever the tradition is that interests you the most, that influences your life and the lifestyle that you are seeking to employ. The creed of service is always there. Okay. It is always there, just in different words, different mannerisms. Think of it like this: if you go into Michael W. Ford's work, you have the 11 adversarial doctrines. Okay. Now you compare that to Anton Zanderleve's 11 satanic rules of the earth, and you'll see two different comparisons. Okay. Two different aspects of it. Kind of like going between the nine sins, the nine satanic sins, and then getting into it from the nine satanic statements, and then finally going into the 21 satanic points. Okay. Now, here, we're just going to break this down so that you can understand how to go about making that pledge, that oath of service. Okay. Now, in Satanism, there's what is known as a blood pact. It is an infernal pact that you, as the adept, okay, the neophyte, is going into adepthood by declaring that this is the path for you. Okay. And what this means is when you sign a pact, you are getting something out of it just as much as those that you make the pacts with. You are choosing a side. Okay, you're not straddling the line between, as a gray witch, you're not straddling the line between Christianity and Satanism or devil worship. Basically, the witch's oath means that you are choosing a path for you. Okay, and that's exactly what it means. So when you make an infernal pact, you are declaring that you are serving the darkness. Okay, whereas being baptized and all that stuff means you've declared yourself a Christian. Okay, and you've given up everything else to follow that path. Now, if you choose that path, it's your choice. Okay, personally, I have my own grievances there. So, just like most of us do. Okay, but the witch's creed, let's break it down. Number one, you have what is known as Noskari. Okay, now Noskari means to know. Okay, basically, this is where we're going to get into Sun Tzu, Poe, and Nietzsche. Okay, knowing yourself means that you will be able to understand and know your enemy. Okay, no matter what forces arise above you, you will know what they're capable of because you first realized yourself. Okay, you know what you're capable of doing and what you're not. Okay, and then from there, you can see where your opponent is willing to go. But in this case, to know means that you are knowing yourself, okay? The energies, your feelings, your thoughts, who you are, in general, okay? Because when you break it all down and it gets right down to the nitty-gritty, who better to know who you are and what you're about than you, okay? And that's basically what that means, to know, okay? Now, the next thing is auderie, which means to dare, okay? Now, auderie is basically one of those things where you dare to do something. Look at it like this. Have you ever been challenged to, say, for an example, run by and you know pop a balloon behind somebody, okay, or perhaps going to dare to do something that would not be classified as legal, okay? Now, when we look at what the daring aspects, it means that you dare to step foot into an area that most dare not to. They don't want to go into these areas. And this is why. Okay. When you dare to go into an area such as the feared religion, Satanism, or you get into that of voodoo, okay, be it New Orleans, New York, LA, variations, go into, say, Haitian voodoo, go into African traditions, okay, you see that there are darker aspects as well as lighter aspects of it. Okay. To go into the path of blood sorcery or that of personal gain, most people want to stay on the light and healing aspect. So to go into that other area where you're offering your services, okay, they kind of look down on it because it to them it is selling yourself like, well, one doesn't want to say a prostitute, okay? But if you think about it, a working person is somebody who actually goes out and makes a living for themselves and their families. Okay. In this case, this type of tradition goes back hundreds, if not thousands of years into necromancy, into shamanism. Okay. Where even in African traditions, people would bring furs in exchange, or fish, or even currency in exchange for the services of that practitioner. So this is really nothing new. People just like to think that it is selling yourself short. Okay, that it's not right to do so, not right to charge. Okay, so again, to dare to put yourself out there, to dare to actually go into these areas, you will actually benefit yourself in the long run. So to know thyself is to know thy enemy, and to know thy enemy is to know thyself. To dare to go where others dare not to will get you further, okay, along your chosen path. And then you have Veli, okay, will, okay. Veli is one of those type of things where you have to physically will yourself to go forth, even in the times of trials, adversities, okay, to um, stay the course of your path in your career. Okay. Now, when we look at the term to will, what does it mean to will? To will into manifestation? Occultism knows this as manifestation of a spirit. Okay. Making your desires manifested. Okay. So you're using your own will, your own knowledge of the craft, no matter what craft you're in: Satanism, demonolatry, necromancy, witchcraft, shamanism, voodoo, hoodoo, santeria, palo mayombe, quimbanda, ambanda. It doesn't matter. The microcosm going into the macrocosm, okay? When we do rituals, we're willing this stuff to manifest in our lives. Frank White recently did a video um, a couple months back that was based off ritual magic, okay? And I really like the fact that he actually did the time to do this type of video because most people do not. And this is why. And the way he put it was very simplistic. It is your way of thinking. Christians will tell you to get out of your own way, stop tripping yourself up. Okay. And a lot of people, as say, for example, was it AJ Stewart? Was it what's her name there? Stewart and not J.S. Garrett, the other one, J.D. Temple. There we go. Did a video together about self cursing. Okay. Now, self cursing happens more than you realize. And in this case, to will is to manifest. So you really want to take into consideration your own thought forms. Okay. How are you thinking? Are you thinking positively? Are you thinking negatively? Okay. In Hexcraft, we use negative magic, okay, negative thoughts, negative energy to curse somebody, to hex them, to teach them a lesson, okay? So to will means to manifest yourself. In this case, you're going from the microcosm into the macrocosm, but even further into invocations and evocations, okay? So you're basically manipulating the energies inside yourself and then manipulating the energies outside of yourself. Okay. And it starts internally. It always starts internally. And this is what a lot of practitioners today do not understand. All right. Now, one more note on this aspect, and I'm going to go on to the fourth thing, is the fact that these things go into a lot of different areas. Okay. Christopher Penziak, his Temple series, I would recommend all 6 books by him. And this is why. The first one tells you about the history of witchcraft, okay, and the various different traditions, styles, and formulations of it. The second one is more psychic. It's more mediumship. It's opening yourself up. And the third one deals with you, your internal clock, I guess you'd call it, your brain, breaking it down into 3 sections from front to back and 7 from top to bottom. Okay, very wise man. He's a shaman. Goes up and down the eastern seaboard teaching. So to know thyself, to dare to go through places where others don't, and will yourself into bringing forth into manifestation your will and your desire, you must first look internally. Okay. Now, the the next one is one that a lot of practitioners really do not. How should I say this? Take to heart, or they take it too far. Okay. And this is Takari. Okay. Which means to keep silent. Okay. Now, I'm all for keeping silent on my own practices. In fact, when I do my own practices, my own rituals, I don't share them. But here's the thing I do, however, teach you the mechanics, the mannerisms that will help you as the adept, as the neophyte, get into your practice, okay, and actually begin your journey. Now, when you go into traditions like voodoo or hoodoo, Santeria, Palo Mayumbi, they want you to be, even in Wicca and Wiccan practices, you are not considered a practitioner until you have been initiated into the path. Okay. Now, up until that time, most are not going to even bother to help you or to aid you. And that is because of the fact they take it to such an extreme. They are trying to keep out the wannabes, the fakes, the mischief and troublemakers. Okay. Now, take it from somebody who's been in the spotlight for a long time. I can't tell you how many times I get these wannabes that come in just to stir up trouble and then they disappear just as quick as they appear. or they're just there to stir up trouble. All right. So trust me, this stuff does happen. Now, to keep silent is to make manifest your desires. Now, when you do a spell to keep silent about it, normally for 24 to 48 hours, or at least until it manifests itself in your in either your life or your client's life or even that of an enemy's life. Okay. So why would you reveal to your enemy that you've cursed them? Okay. Why would you reveal to an enemy that you're going to curse them? You see, this sets the stage for them, especially if they are knowledgeable in the craft, to set up wardings, to set up reversal spells, to get themselves into the state of mind where they can reverse it and send it right back to you. Okay. They get to defend themselves because you spoke up. So to keep silent upon what you're doing magically benefits you in the long run. All right. And then this also goes into the aspect of the fifth element or the fifth stage of the witch's creed, the witch's pyramid, the witch's oath of service, which is to go forth. Okay, to go. And that is Ire, IRE. Okay, and it means to go forth. And to go forth with all of these tools will help you benefit in the long run. It'll help you along your journey in your spell work, your communions as a priest or priestess, if you wish to go that far. If you wish to make it a full time career, this will help you. Number one, it sets forth the stage that you know what you're talking about because you know your practice, you know your service, you know what you're about, you know who you are, you know the arts and crafts of various different traditions. You dare to go forth and you dare to put yourself out there. You dare to delve into the regions and the mythos, the whole kit caboodle where most people don't dare to go because most people today take into consideration this. They only take at heart what they're told, not what they actually know. Okay. To do your own research means that you will go further and people are going to see the difference between somebody who's just going by what they're told and those who actually are doing the work. Okay. To will into manifestation is to bring forth results. Okay. And to keep silent about what you're doing practice wise will benefit you in more than one way because number one, it protects your services. Two, it will keep you out of trouble. And three, it'll help you determine who is worthy of your gnosis. Okay. But more so, because of the church, we have modern day witch hunters as well. One of which lives down in New Orleans, Alabama region. Okay. So witch hunters still exist today and they like to reveal witches. You got a lot of these people out there that want to gang bang you because you're doing something that they don't consider right, such as teaching the arts, the tools, the basic understanding of the craft or crafts, the traditions for others to learn, okay, and to go forth and actually apply it to your life, okay? So you're seeing all these aspects here. And so right here, you're not only seeing the entire applications of just the witch's creed, the witch's pyramid, but also consider this: earth, fire, water, air, and spirit. These are the five elements that go along with these five little things. Okay? To know, to will, to dare, to keep silent, and to go. They all apply. And if you take a pentagram, okay, and I want you to actually consider this because if you draw a pentagram, okay, be it inverted or regular, okay, and on each of those 5 points, okay, you write down to know, to will. to dare, to keep silent, and to go. Okay? Now fold it up. There's the witch's pyramid. Okay? The witch's creed in pyramid form. Ah, imagine that. A pentagram, a five-pointed star, folded up, makes into a pentagram, or a pyramid in this case. Pentagram into a pyramid, and the pyramid into the pentagram. It's like looking at it in 3D. It's got so many different applications, you'd be surprised. Okay? Now, my next video, which should be later today, if not tomorrow, I've got to work the next 4 days. So um, I am going to be putting out more practices, more videos on both YouTube and Facebook. So keep that in mind. I'm looking to do probably about 4 to 5 videos a week. So I'm going to be back online a lot. So if you like my work, if you like um, my the material I put forth, feel free to follow. Okay. Hope this has been enlightening. Hope it's been educational. And until next time, have a good one.